Welcome to What Matters, a video podcast in light of our current times, with a look inward at unique experiences, upward for divine direction, and outward at God's activity in the world. I'm Michelle Funk, your ministry host. I'm glad you're here. With this order to stay home in our area, we wondered if the What Matters podcast might still encourage and connect women. How can we tackle the social disconnection we're feeling in a way that would bring us together to help us look inward, upward, and outward? So this is a bit of a spin-off of our normal audio podcast to include some video via Zoom. In this video series of the What Matters podcast, we'll talk with guests for ideas of how to speak life into this current crisis. And we want to invite you to chime in by adding your thoughts in the comment section below, a way to connect online. So I want you to meet my guest today, who I think can help us with kind of this new school format that the kids, parents, and teachers all began this week in our area. Deliece Hofen is a former educator, principal, director of human resources, lucky mom, president of Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer, a speaker, a leader, a runner, a cancer survivor, a momcologist, and I love this, an extremely determined, hopeful, and grateful person. And I know Deliece to be all of those things. Hi, Deliece. How are you today?
Hi, Michelle. I'm good. Thanks.
Good. Thank you for being here, spending time with us. I just thought that you might be able to help us with our new normal, especially in light of the school districts, how we have all begun this week with new school. So yeah, and as it has happened in your house as well. So I thought we just might talk about it and see how we might be able to find some encouragement through this as we get going.
We'll learn together, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you started today with some online school, yes, in your house?
Yeah, we did. So I have two boys. One is a junior and one is a freshman. And my freshman is in all internal special education courses. He has autism. So he actually starts his coursework on the 6th of April. But my junior actually started today. So we like a lot of people around this area dove headfirst into it today. And we're just kind of swimming through trying to figure it all out.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And so you maybe can kind of take a look from all angles. You've been a principal. Yeah. You've been involved in the school district. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think the teachers are feeling this week?
I know that the teachers are sad. This is not the way they wanted the year to end. This is not the goodbye that they didn't get to have with their kids that they wanted to have. Every one of those educators is in this business because they truly care about kids and they want to make a difference in their lives. And every single one of them just had their kids ripped away from them. And I know that they're really sad that they don't get to finish out the rest of the year with those kids and kind of finish the business that they started, at least at semester for high school courses, but for the year with elementary school teachers. And it kind of becomes a family in your classroom. And to not have that chance to see your family every day is really hard for these teachers.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think the kids are feeling? Some of the same things.
Honestly, it really, even with my high school kids, they are bummed that they don't get to see their teachers and their friends, and they don't get the social engagements that they get at school. The elementary kids, I think, are heartbroken because truly they really are a little family in that classroom. When I was in principal, I was in elementary school, and I used to teach kindergarten and first grade. So I had the littlest kids in the building as a teacher, and I know that those relationships really are important to relationships, and I know those kids are really missing their teachers and their friends. I think they miss their schedule too. There's a lot of reassurance in having a normal schedule and a normal routine every day, and I think that is something that they're probably missing too.
Right. I think that's been one of the biggest factors so far. I mean, of course, there's been a lot. There's just been a lot. In my house, I just can't keep repeating. I can't quit repeating this saying. I've just been stunned, absolutely stunned by the turn of events. But one thing that has been helpful is I've kept a bit of a routine. Actually gotten up every day, actually put on some clothes instead of staying in my pajamas, however tempting that is, actually had meals. And so the point of keeping to a schedule, if nothing else, I think is helpful. And maybe that's one thing I think parents and students and teachers perhaps have even looked forward to a little bit. If we could say that they're looking forward to something, it might be that this adds that element back in of some type of schedule, however different and abbreviated or learning curve involved it might be.
Absolutely. I
So
think it helps you feel a little bit more normal. I mean, it makes it seem like you have a little bit of control over a few things because there's so much that we don't have control over right now. I mean, none of us has control over what's happening with the pandemic, but we do have control over our own schedules and the way that we structure our day. And it has been the struggle bus to get up in the morning and put on something other than pajamas and not wear my makeup one day a week, that kind of thing. So it has definitely been a change. But it sure feels better when I do those things because it's back to my same normal routine.
what do you think parents are experiencing right now as they're trying to support this new way of doing school? What would you say to
Well,
parents?
I know that all of us as parents right now are a little bit freaked out about everything that we have to keep track of
Yeah.
and figure out with our kids. I have an education background and still I am scrambling trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing and when I'm supposed to be doing it. And I don't know about all this virtual stuff that we have going on. And it has definitely been a change for all of us. So I know that the parents are scrambling and we're all trying to figure out and just hold on to sanity. I know that one thing that has been really helpful for me has been that we've had some group chats just like on our texting, or we've had Zoom calls with people and we just laugh about it a little bit and we try to kind of give each other tips. And that has been a really big help just to know that people are in it with you. You're not alone.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And it is nice that we can connect in this way to look at each other in the face and say,
Exactly.
seriously, you are not alone in this. Yeah. Have you been peeking over the shoulder of your kids as they've gotten online with classes, or are you staying completely out of that?
Well, I haven't been peeking over the shoulder as much as I've been helping to try to get things lined up before they start doing their stuff. So we have a schedule created for school that says this is what we're going to be doing, and these are the things that need to be accomplished. I've added in a lot of extra things like cleaning your bathroom 101, putting away your laundry 302. So there are a lot of additional courses that the kids are taking while they're home. They're enjoying those tremendously. So those are also listed on the calendar, and you have to get those things done as well now. So it's not quite as much fun as they thought it would be. However, we're working really hard to get those schedules kind of worked out and the expectations kind of ironed out, and have some conversations about, what do you feel like is reasonable and what do I feel like is reasonable? Because we're not always on the same page about what's reasonable.
Mhm.
But just the expectation of this has to get done before you do these kinds of things, kind of that normalcy again of you're not playing video games until your assignments are done, and then we can take a look at that. But until that point, it's off limits. The phone gets put away, that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of no's coming out around here, and not everybody's thrilled about the no's that are coming out around here, but they're just part of what's necessary. It's just like at school. You just have to kind of lay down the law and say that's the way it's going to be. Sorry.
Right, right. I like how you've numbered your courses. Put away laundry 302. That's good.
I should make some honors courses for cleaning bathrooms or something. There should be extra credit given.
I think so. Now, I think I saw a Facebook post where you did some chalkboard creation out in the driveway, like the window. Yeah, tell me, because I think we can have some fun. We can have some fun,
Absolutely,
yeah, with our.
absolutely. My neighbors actually did the most amazing chalkboard drawings in their driveway, and they're absolutely beautiful, huge, creative works of art. And truly, I feel like a lot of learning isn't just book learning, right? I mean, there's a lot to be learned in just things that are around and activities that you're doing and experiences that you're having. So Definitely not all learning is just book learning, it's experiential learning, and people are getting really
Mhm.
creative. And I've seen even on news shows in the morning where they're doing science experiments that you can do with your kids, and cooking activities that you can do with your kids. So there are a lot of outside resources right now that you can look up. There are lots of ways to learn how to play a new instrument, or do something special in art, whatever it is. And I think it's a great time to be able to learn how to do those things. We all have a time to kind of take a breath here because we don't have as many activities pressing. I mean, the jazz band concert that was supposed to happen today is not happening. So, what are some other things that we can do to kind of fill that time? And we've actually had some really pretty good games of Monopoly and Battleship. And I mean, going back to kind of old school from when I grew up, and we didn't have a lot of those activities. And it's been kind of a fun experience to have that. Now, would I trade it for that to have a normal life back? Absolutely, absolutely. But in the meantime, while we don't have control of that, just trying to make the best of it that we can.
Right, right. And I like enjoying just some kind of more down family time. I think parents right now with this idea of online school and learning must continue to take place. Yes, that's important, but there's so many good things that happen as a result of playing a game together as a family. So weather has gotten nicer, getting outside, and while still recognizing the importance of physically distancing ourselves from other people, we can still enjoy some sunshine and some walks around the block or whatever that might look like for you. But so I wonder if it's okay to say, not everything has to be educational per se, because a lot of great things and even learning takes place just through play and downtime and slowing down and relaxing and so I find that to be helpful. Do you think that's some good advice for families right now?
Absolutely, I do. I
Yeah.
really do. And I think for a lot of kiddos and a lot of families, having them come up with ideas, have them research some things on the internet, and find what are some things that you're interested in, and what are some activities that we can do, and then plan those activities out and do them. So having them figure out what things can I do that would be enriching to me is wonderful. I mean, that's really good higher level thinking for them to engage in. And truly, there's nothing more authentic than that kind of learning. So I completely agree that those are really the richest learning experiences.
And maybe that relieves a little pressure too from everybody, teachers, parents, students. Just maybe just breathe a little bit, relieve some pressure. I don't know. I just have found myself saying over and over, it is going to be okay.
It
It
really
is really going to be okay.
It honestly really is going to be okay. These kids really are going to be fine. It's not like they're missing out on complete learning. They're not. It's a different kind of learning. They're learning in a different way, but it really is going to be okay. And kids still
Mhm.
are going to excel in whatever they're going to do in the future as adults. It really, really will be okay.
Yeah, yeah. Part of what you say when I know we have to put these descriptions together about who we are, is that you just hang on to hope. And I know that that's so true for you. And
Pastor Adam talks about that. He talked about how being fearless isn't not having fear; it's facing your fears with the bias of hope. And truly, for me, that's what it's all about. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to be angry about the way things are turning out in the world right now. But acknowledge that, and then face it with a bias of hope that it really truly is going to be okay. And then take some action to make it okay. Find some of those ways to do some enriching activities. Find some ways to communicate with some of your friends and neighbors, whether it's on Zoom or on a phone call or via text, to say, what are you guys doing? Because we can all learn from one another. There are ideas out there from everybody. And honestly, not every minute of every day has to be an educational minute. It's okay.
yay, yay. Delice, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is a joy to visit with you. I always am inspired and feel better after just talking with you, seeing what you're doing, peeking in on your Facebook. Just thank you, truly,
Thanks, Michelle.
truly. Yay, yeah. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for What Matters. So, the plan is that we'll release a new video every other day or so throughout the week We're planning on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And they're designed just to help us all connect and focus on what really matters. Below is a link to our audio version of the What Matters podcast, which, by the way, Deliece is a guest on there as well. And I had the pleasure of hosting her for an audio version. So look that up on the What Matters podcast that you play on your phone's podcast player. And there's also lots of great previous episodes about overcoming fear and arising as women of faith. So I just want to invite you to those things. And another couple other things to note, our pastors at Church of the Resurrection are sharing morning devotionals on Facebook each day. Our senior pastor, Adam Hamilton, is hosting a Vespers message or an evening devotional on Tuesday nights. And all of those are on Facebook. We'll link those up. And as we're still in the season of Lent, I want to encourage you to join the online study of The Walk, 5 Christian Essentials on Wednesday nights. That too will be linked up for you. For weekend worship services, join us online from your home. You can go to church at home, on your couch, in your jammies. I think that's allowed. However, this week is the start of Holy Week with Palm Sunday, so you might want to dress up for that service. Worship, I know, is going to be unique and beautiful, and for Palm Sunday, we'll even figure out a way to include communion. So again, thank you for joining us. I'm Michelle Funk, your ministry host, and I hope you see us next time. I hope we see you next time. Bye for now.